Yeah, Shion. I'll try to sneak into the storehouse, but I'm dummy thick. And the clap of my ass cheeks keeps learning Oyashiro-sama.
I hate you sometimes.
It's my favorite thing now.
The clap of your ass cheeks?
No, being dummy thick. The clap of my ass cheeks is just a byproduct of it.
Alright, I need to fix my... Actually, why do you always have better lighting than me?
Because I'm just a star, baby.
Yeah, you need...
I am a star.
No, that's worse.
Maybe it's because you're just so far away.
No, it's your light. You're blocking my light from that angle. Yeah, see?
But I need to be close.
Yeah, you are. That's why I need this one to be the last.
So we're moving on to chapter 13. Meaning either if this is not the last one,
the
next one's the last one.
I am getting really good at like...
We know how to predict when a long one's coming, though. And a long one's coming.
I feel like a long one is about to happen. Like right now. Stay tuned and find out.
Let me clear my throat. Aha. 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 Aha.
Are you...
Aha.
Oh, which one is it? No. So, is that your laugh now? You can't even do it.
No, I can't not do it. It's not an ability I have yet. I will work on it. I actually watched the actual music video of that.
Yeah.
Fucking weird.
Yeah.
But that dude is so happy about what he's doing.
Yeah.
It's like... But really? Really? Okay. Hey, everyone. Are you all still alive? Kimiyoshi was hanging from the collar, with his head turned up to the ceiling. He didn't even move when I walked in. Maybe he's already dead. Satoko was lying on a cross-shaped restraining table. She glared at me with red and swollen eyes, which must have been that way from crying. I'd wanted to put her on that special restraining table, to pound nails into her hands, but Satoko was too small for that. I walked up to Kimiyoshi and poked his body with my toe. There was no response. Uncle Kimiyoshi, are you dead? Murderer! Murderer! Maybe Satoko had witnessed Kimiyoshi's last moments. I took a thick knife from the wall and stabbed Kimiyoshi with it. There was no response. Uncle Kimiyoshi, if you're alive, you better tell me, okay? You can't fool me. I walked over to the pulley that was suspending Kimiyoshi. This is your last chance. Are you alive? Let me know if you are. I paused for just a moment, then turned the pulley. Kimiyoshi's body swayed strangely in the air. It looked much more like a corpse like that. Shion-san, why are you doing this? Huh? I get it. The door to the huge cave was still open. I bet Satoko had talked to the one in the cell while I was gone. That's how she knows my name. Although, that's actually not my name at all. No, I'm not Shion. I'm the real Mion. The one you all thought was Mion is Shion. It's kind of confusing, huh? If you don't get it, that's okay. How dare you? How dare you kill Rika? I had allowed Satoko to watch me take care of Rika's body. Of course, I let her see Rika's neck, too. Rika Furide deserved it. She came over to kill me. I just fought back, that's all. That's not possible! Rika would never do anything like that! If you don't believe me, that's fine. It's none of your business anyway. What are you going to do with me? I'm going to kill you. Satoko's eyes went wide. She was expecting my answer, I'm sure, but she still looked shocked. I bet she didn't expect me to state it so openly. I heard the noise of something hitting iron bars echoing in the huge cave. Shion's voice echoed there as well. Sis, no! Don't kill Satoko! I answered her clearly. Did you finally realize what you've done? Did you finally realize you didn't do anything to save Satoshi-kun, although you had the power to? That was why he was killed. You ignored millions of chances to rescue Satoshi-kun. Yes, that is your sin. Gah! Before even finishing my sentence, I stabbed Satoko's right arm.
Yeesh.
Her blood started to flow out. This was nothing compared to what happened to Rika Furade. I twisted the knife into Satoko's arm. She bit down hard, crying. Stop! Don't kill Satoko! Let her go! I don't care what you do to me, but please let Satoko go! Why couldn't you say that for Satoshi-kun? It's too late now! I was the one screaming like you back then. But no matter how loudly I screamed, it never reached them, spared him, or saved him. I want you to go through the same thing I did. I stabbed Satoko's arm repeatedly, but the knife kept hitting her bone. It didn't feel like I was cutting any of her flesh. Stop, Mion, stop! Sis, stop, stop, stop! Okay, Shion. How about this? I'll tell you how you can save Satoko. Apologize to me 1,000 times. I'll let her go when you're done. How about that? I don't tell lies. If you really apologize 1,000 times, I'll keep my promise. Well, how about that? I'm sorry. 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 Shion started apologizing like a broken record. She's so stupid and honest. She's not even thinking of cheating. I bet Shion really will count to 1,000. I stabbed Satoko in the wrist. There, I felt something hard. I guess I either crushed her bone or scraped it. Must have been extremely painful for her. Satoko screamed. Hey, what else do you want from a death yell? Shion's voice got louder as if trying to overpower that scream. All you ever do is cry to get what you want. You think your Nini is going to appear out of nowhere, knock me aside, and rescue you, huh? Yeah, right. The knife was still in Satoko's wrist. I slid it toward her elbow. Satoko, can you hear me? Hey! Listen to me! I slapped her face several times and made her look at me. Do you know what you've done? Do you know how your very existence is what corners Satoshi-kun? Nini! Nini! That's right. That's all you did to him. Every time you cried, Satoshi-kun protected you. But have you ever even considered what kind of a burden you were to him? He wasn't some superhero. He was just like you. God. He was just a normal human being. Have you ever even thought of what he had to go through because of you? No, you didn't. You never even tried. You just let Satoshi-kun take care of you. You just leeched off of him. And as he got injured for your sake, you lived by sucking his blood. You are cursed. How can you still call for him? Huh? You are now going to pay for your sin. With my help. Cry as much as you want. Scream as much as you want. And realize Satoshi-kun will never come for you. You cornered him. You made him disappear. You killed him! After telling her all I'd been wanting to, I exhaled roughly. What's this? You don't feel anything in your right arm anymore? Okay, then let's use your left. I stabbed her left arm repeatedly and her blood flowed out. But Satsuko's reactions weren't fun anymore. She didn't cry or scream like she did before. That put me in a bad mood, so I stabbed the back of her left hand and twisted the knife again. But Satoko still just moaned. She didn't scream anymore. What's the matter? Are you stifling your screams in protest? Thinking I was enjoying your cries? That's great! Satoko was unfazed by my mad laughter. She looked at me with gritted teeth and resignation. Yes, I think that's the truth. Huh? I cornered Nini. That is why he disappeared. I've known that ever since the day he vanished. I wasn't strong enough. I depended on Nini. I'm sure it was hard on him too, but I couldn't stop. You are absolutely right about that. I have no excuse. Satoko didn't sound as if she was mocking me or trying to please me. She spoke so naturally. That's interesting. I never realized you were aware of what you'd done. Nini is coming back. He will come back someday. And when he does, I'm going to show him how independent I've become. I don't need him anymore. I won't hide behind him anymore. I'm going to show him that I really can live on my own. When he comes back, huh? I stabbed Satoko's arm in a mad frenzy. But she still didn't even scream. She bit down tightly and swallowed her pain instead. Nini is coming back. I know he is. I'm waiting for him. And when he comes back, I will apologize for depending on him so much. So I won't give up until that day comes. I'll never depend on him again, ever. No matter what kind of hardships I have to endure, I won't ask him to help me. I won't call for help. I won't cry. I won't scream. If I cry, Nini will come for me. So I'm going to endure this by myself. Damn you! What do you think you're saying? If it is fun for you, go ahead. Stab me as much as you please. But if you think I'm going to cry for Nini, well, too bad. I will not cry, ever. If you refuse to believe me, then try it. Nini is watching me. He is watching me endure this. He will see that I am not like I was before. And when he sees that, he is going to come back. Come on, try it! I will not cry! Try to see how strong Satoko Hojo is. Shit, shit, shit! I'll show her! Take that and that and that! Nini, you're watching me, right? I've become so strong. This won't bring me down. This is nothing. This won't make me cry. I won't cry for your help. I can endure this. I'm going to endure this. This is nothing compared to what you had to go through for me. Shit! 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 Why doesn't she feel the pain? Doesn't it hurt? There's no way it doesn't. I've been stabbing her so much and the knife went in so deep. Her blood has poured to the ground and I've begun turning her flesh inside out. How can she still talk that way? Why doesn't she cry and scream? After Satoko said what she wanted to say, she shut her mouth. She didn't say a word after that. No matter how much I stabbed her, twisted the knife, tore at her, ripped out her flesh, she didn't even make a sound. What in the world is this? This isn't the Satoko I know. Satoko was never as strong as this. If Satoko was this strong, she would have never been a burden for Satoshi-kun. Why wasn't she as strong before? It's too late. Everything is too late. This idiot's maturity came far too late. Her blood made my hands slippery and I dropped the knife. I was covered in blood from head to toe. Satoko was still enduring the pain. She was enduring this cruelty so she could display her strength. I couldn't defeat Satoko. I couldn't crush her strength. Satoko had achieved her goal. She had become independent, so she didn't need Satoshi-kun anymore. She still believes Satoshi-kun will come back one day. She looks forward to a day when she can show her brother how strong she had become. But Satoshi-kun hasn't seen any of that. Instead, I, who never even thought that Satoshi-kun would come back, was the one who witnessed her strength. What was I thinking? I thought Satoshi-kun was dead. No, I assumed he was. Why did I? I never even thought of waiting for him. I didn't even believe he would come back. I didn't wait. I tried to avenge him, but I guess what I really did was forget about him. Satoko was different. She never even thought he was dead. No, maybe she did a little. But even so, she waited. She waited for a day when she could show him how much she'd grown. She waited patiently. What about me? I didn't do anything. I wanted to forget about my sadness, so I tried to find my enemy. I became a demon using revenge as an excuse, so that I didn't have to think like a human. I lost. I couldn't endure the pain of waiting for Satoshi-kun, so I chose to become a demon. In other words, I got rid of my soul. The soul that loved Satoshi-kun. In other words, I got rid of Satoshi-kun himself. Satoko won. While she had been gritting her teeth before, her mouth had gone slack. Her eyelids were half shut, but I could see her eyes a little. It looked like she was dreaming about something happy. Satoshi-kun was there in her eyes. Satoko endured until Satoshi-kun came for her. Satoko ran up to Satoshi-kun. She jumped onto him. Satoshi-kun hugged her, and they spun around. You can cry now. Satoshi-kun told Satoko that, and she cried very hard. Satoshi-kun rubbed her head so gently. We'll be together forever, he said, and continued to rub her head so gently. So gently. Satoshi-kun, I was waiting for you too. What meaningless words. He was already dead inside of me. I never believed in our reunion. How pitiful of me to say that. Just because I saw Satoko and Satoshi-kun together again. As Satoshi-kun hugged Satoko, his eyes met mine. Shion, Satoshi-kun said. I asked you a favor. What favor? I tried to remember. What kind of favor did Satoshi-kun ask me? Satoshi-kun looked at me so sadly because I couldn't remember. That sad look tore my heart to shreds. The blood flowing out from me wasn't as pretty as Satoko's blood. My blood was a slimy liquid, like vomit with filthy chunks of food in it. That was what filled my body. Whether it's a real curse or somebody's conspiracy, I won't disappear and I won't fall victim to it. You won't disappear? No. Not until I buy that teddy bear. I'll get the money pretty soon. I won't go anywhere until then. Huh? A memory of the past? But when? Of course. This is a memory of the day before the last year's Watsunagashi. Satoshi-kun called me on the phone then. My aunt is home. I have to go. Okay. Mion. Huh? His aunt was home, so I'm sure he wanted to hang up as quickly as possible. Satoshi-kun paused and spoke. I'll leave Satoko to you. My knees and elbows started to shake. My teeth chattered and my fingers were shivering. Satoshi-kun asked me to. What have I done? I couldn't wait for Satoshi-kun to come back, so I filled myself with evil thoughts and acted as I pleased. I didn't believe he'd ever return. I even forgot about Satoshi-kun's last request. How can I say I love him? I just wanted to forget about my feelings of loss, so I made myself all bloody. How can I welcome him back now? I didn't believe Satoshi-kun would come back. I didn't believe Satoshi-kun was alive. I didn't think he was alive, so I thought he was dead. I believed in his death. I killed him in myself. Nobody else did. I did that. But Satoko believed until the very end, and she was rewarded in her final moments. Satoko wasn't here anymore. She had no more need for her bloody, painful shell. But I'm still here, trapped in my bloody, tainted flesh. I'm going to rot inside of it. Satoshi-kun was waiting for both Satoko and me. But to be reunited with Satoshi-kun, we had to keep our promises. Satoko's promise was to be strong. Satoko kept that promise until the bitter end, and Satoshi-kun embraced her. My promise was to take care of Satoko for Satoshi-kun. I never kept the promise from the beginning. Therefore, Satoshi-kun will never embrace me. Even if I were to rub Satoko's wounds and ask her if they hurt, that wouldn't mean anything. That was when I felt something behind me. It wasn't Satoshi-kun or the thing that scared me before. I didn't know who it was. But it was right there, criticizing me for my mistakes. Then, I finally realized it. That thing is me. I had always been there, standing behind myself and watching me break that promise. Satoshi-kun asked me to take care of Satoko, yet I didn't even keep that promise. I had been watching that happen. I cried and gave up on myself. Wait, Satoshi-kun gave up on me, and I gave up on myself. What will happen to me now? I don't want to be in this darkness. I don't want to be all bloody. Please don't leave me. If I give up on myself, what will happen to my body? There will be nothing left. The only thing I'll have left in me is an evil demon. Ah, I get it. I've known it for a long time now. I am nothing but a demon. A demon doesn't feel sad. A demon's heart can never be in pain. A demon doesn't cry. Shion was still apologizing. She believed that was the only way for her to save Satoko. Her voice was growing hoarse and weak. Shion, you don't need to count anymore. Good job. I guess she realized what happened to Satoko. Shion cried in her cell. Being a demon isn't that bad, huh? I never knew how fun it would be to see other people cry and scream. I've already had plenty of fun in this human world. Maybe soon I'll kill myself and go back to hell. But don't worry. I'll make sure I kill you first. That's why I'm here, after all. Demons are pleased when they see people cry and grieve, see? Wait. You like Kei-chan, don't you? Okay. I'll rip Kei-chan apart before your eyes. What a great idea! I'll kill you, and then myself after that. Onigafuchi Village is a village of demons. Demons came out from the swamp and attacked the village. I'm going to act like those legendary demons and wait for Oyoshiro-sama to judge me. That will be a suitable disaster for Hanamizawa, don't you think? Kei-chan. It's me. It's Shion. You took a long time to pick up. I thought you weren't home, and I was about to hang up. Sorry. I was just in the bath. Wouldn't your family pick up for you? Could your parents be out right now, Kei-chan? Well, no, they're not really. Anyway, have you heard about Rika-chan and Satoko? No. What happened after that? Were they found? Nah. They haven't found them yet. Kei-chan, please don't lose hope. Rika-chan and Satoko. They were kidnapped, weren't they? Yes. I don't think there's much doubt. Rika-chan and Satoko were... No, I mean... I'm sorry. About the mayor. What do you think happened after he was kidnapped? Do you think he's still alive? Keiichi sounded confused. He wanted to believe Satoko and Rika were still alive, which was why he was asking. Keiichi was just like Satoko. Unless the culprit was after money, the abductee would usually get killed right away. I'd never assumed they'd still be alive. But Keiichi was trying to hold on to a little hope. I could feel his strength. It was much greater than mine. I'm a demon, so I didn't come up with an excuse. I think he was killed. Hey, wait. That was abrupt. I think it must be really hard to kidnap someone and keep them like they are. As long as they're not hostages, it would be most practical to kill them once you're done with them. Kill them so readily? I mean, what's a human life or two, anyway? It's a horrible thing, but that's probably what happened. If the mayor was killed, then did that mean the same thing had happened to Rika-chan and Satoko? No, that couldn't. They weren't some random old man. It was Rika-chan. It was Satoko. They couldn't kill them so easily. Keiichi was still refusing to believe what I said. He fought so hard because he didn't want to kill his friends within him. I wasn't like that. I killed Satoshi-kun within me so easily. I blamed Shion for not protecting Satoshi-kun, but I killed him so easily. It's probably better to think that Rika-chan and Satoko-chan ended up the same way. Whoa! Keiichi roared and cried. It was like their deaths were physically agonizing to him. Why? Why kidnap someone and then kill them? Screw curses. Are people's lives really that cheap? Erasing them and killing them without a second thought like this? You're right. You're absolutely right. It would take a demon. I laughed at myself. I was sure Keiichi didn't notice. Hey, Shion, please tell me, why did Hanamizawa start needing someone to die on the nights of Watanagashi? That's what I'd like to know. The fighting of the dam project is already over and done with. Haven't enough people been cursed already? Why is it? Why? If there's a reason, then say it, now! I understand how you feel, Kei-chan, I really do. The dam conflict ended a long time ago. Yet, murders and disappearances keep happening every year under the guise of Oishiro-sama's curse. Why? Why is it happening? Some of them had nothing to do with it, and some of them didn't deserve to be cursed. So why? Why? That's what I'm asking you! I want to know that as much as anyone. Of course. The curse of Oishiro-sama never existed. It was just a bizarre environment that allowed people to kill in the name of Oishiro-sama. The environment and nothing more. Nothing would have happened unless there were demons who danced within it. Listen. Oishiro-sama's curse never existed. It's too unrealistic. Just like you said, someone in the village is using the guise of Oishiro-sama's curse as a justification for continuing these murders and disappearances every Watanagashi. They were cunning. They've been using the curse as a convenient tool and made a system where they would get rid of 2 enemies in the village every year. And this year, that system killed Takano-san and Tomitake-san. Then why wasn't that enough? Why did the mayor and Rika-chan and Satoko have to get killed too? I don't give a shit about the past. The only thing I care about is why Rika-chan and Satoko needed to be killed. Why is that? I didn't say a word to Satoko, you know. Why even her? Why? Satoshi-kun was speaking through Keiichi's mouth. How could I respond? I didn't know what to say. I could only feel myself being stabbed by the sharpness of those words. Kei-chan, please, stop being mean. I don't have any idea what's going on either. Everything changed when we went to the ritual storehouse that night. When I heard that Takano-san and Tomitake-san had been killed that night, I doubted my ears. Then I realized it instantly. I realized what sort of a position I was in now. The 4 of us snuck in there. Kei-chan, you and I won't be so conveniently forgiven. When I thought about that, it made my chest so tight. It was so terrifying. You know that feeling, Kei-chan, don't you? That's why I confessed everything to Uncle Kimiyoshi. He wasn't mad. He smiled and told me if I was really sorry, I'd never be demoned away. He really did smile at me and told me to leave it to him. I remembered Uncle Kimiyoshi speaking ill of Satoshi-kun. I killed him, but everyone in Namizawa did that. I wasn't the only one at fault. When did you let the mayor know? Huh? I'm sorry, Shion. It must seem like I'm kicking you while you're down, but Shion, you told him, right? You told Old-Man Kimiyoshi, the mayor? Yes. When did you let him know? Huh? Keiichi's tone was becoming sharper. That edge was cruel, but it was a sharp conviction. It wasn't a dull edge that caused excessive pain. It had a clean, pleasant sharpness to it. Did you know that the mayor had a severe case of hemorrhoids and had gone to the hospital for treatment? Kei-chan? What does that have to... Please answer me. If you didn't know, then just say so. I knew that. He had hemorrhoids. It looked like sitting down was really hard for him. He was going to the hospital. You know which hospital, right? I'm sorry. I don't know that much, but... Kei-chan... What does that have to do with? I want to ask you straight. Shion, when did you tell the mayor about everything? When and where? You can give me a rough answer, but please give me one. Kei-chan. Why are you asking me that? Very good, Maobara Keiichi. You know who I am, don't you? It was impossible. The day the mayor disappeared. From dawn until he vanished. There was no opportunity for you to contact him. That's... The mayor left first thing in the morning for his examination in the university hospital, all by himself without telling anyone. Shion, you just said you don't know what hospital he went to. So you couldn't have contacted the mayor until he got back. Isn't that right? His train back was delayed by an accident, and he didn't return to his house until the meeting was about to start. So there was no time for you to have told him before the meeting started either. Shion, did you go to the meeting too? Did you attend it and tell him there? If you didn't, then there would have been nothing... Then there wouldn't have been any time left. After the meeting was over, the mayor disappeared on his way home. Actually, with the meeting, You didn't even go to the part-time job you said you went to that day. I'll cut to the chase. You haven't been seen since we were at the library together. Kei-chan. Well... Shion Sonozaki disappeared the day after Watsunagashi. Bingo, Kei-chan. I'm impressed. Oishi says you've been missing. Despite that, you've been calling me every night like this, haven't you? Please, Shion. If something I said was wrong, please say so. Shion, I am begging you. Corner me even further. Corner me so the demon inside can't come up with excuses, so that it can't escape. Shion, there's no way you could have seen the mayor, but if you did see him, the only time I could possibly have seen him on that day was... Then you saw him after the meeting. In other words, it could have been only right before he disappeared, or else afterward. Click. Ooh. I screeched and screeched with laughter, then slammed down the phone. Very good, Kei-chan. That's right, it's me. I'm the one. Hurry and corner me. Hurry, let me be free. Was he going to tell the police, or was he going to come here by himself? I wondered which it would be. If the police came, I'd struggle as much as I was able. I'd see how good Oishi would be at catching a demon. If Kei-chan came here alone, that wouldn't be smart of him. He couldn't complain about being eaten by a demon then. I'm going to kill him. I'm going to kill him gruesomely while Shion watches. Therefore, Kei-chan, you shouldn't hold back. I only ever thought you were just a funny guy. I never thought I could expect so much from you.
That's just the halfway point.
Yep.
Tile screen. No, I'm just kidding.
And it's like, spare me! Oh, here we go, that long conversation again. Hopefully it's trimmed down a bit.
I don't know, that one wasn't.
Yeah.
That was the whole...
It was the whole spiel. As far as we remember.
Yeah.
It took them a long time to come for me. I had waited until the following morning. I opened the gate without checking who was ringing the doorbell. I didn't even care who it was. If it was the police, that'd be fine with me. If it was Kei-chan, could he defeat me? Keiichi and Reina were there.
Ooh.
Well, this is unusual. Aren't you two going to school? We stayed home today. Kei-chan is one thing, but you two, Reina? You two are such troublemakers. I laughed. Well, let's not just stand here. Come on in. I didn't think Reina would come. I thought it would be either the police or Kei-chan alone. I'll try tricking Kei-chan into coming with me to the underground storehouse. Reina, why don't you try to figure out what I'm attempting to do and stop me? You too, Kei-chan. If you figured out I was Shion, why don't you figure out the rest? I will act like a demon. I will struggle into the very last moment, so don't hold back. Please don't hesitate to kill a filthy demon like me. Mion. First, I have something to apologize for. You do? What for? Well, on the night of Watsunagashi, the ritual storehouse behind the shrine, I went in there. I didn't expect this to start with an apology. Okay, so he admitted his sin of entering the ritual storehouse. I guess that was manly of him. Don't even care if the storehouse is forbidden anymore. Whatever. The rule came from those who believed it was even a sacred place at all. Mion, you called Rika-chan and Satsuko the day before last, didn't you? I don't remember doing so. If you have a reason to think so, could you let me hear it? It was evening, before dinner time. Rika-chan should have come here, bringing a big bottle of soy sauce to have you share some with her. Reina spoke with confidence. She wasn't even trying to gauge my reaction. She was simply telling me the truth. That cleverness was very pleasant to see. Why do you think that? It's not hard to understand. Mi-chan, you saw it too, didn't you? Rika-chan's room. Huh? Huh. There was a chilled tofu, but no soy sauce. Plus, the big bottle of soy sauce that should have been under the sink was nowhere to be found. What? Is that why she should have come here? Reina sure is sharp. I tried to beat around the bush, but she was confident in her conclusions. She was cornering me. She was doing such a great job, too. It really put me at ease. Okay, demon. Reina knows what she's talking about. What kind of excuse are you going to come up with now? It's a long explanation, so I'll get to the point. The contents of that refrigerator provided a vivid account of what you said over the phone when you lured her out. There it is. This game is over. Reina, I was right about you. I don't like you. You really are just too sharp. Shion is so obtuse that she never even recognized this side of you. That's... I had no idea I had such an incredible detective right next to me the whole time. I can't believe you'd figured out everything down to the phone conversation, just from what was inside the fridge. You've got me there. You've got me. You've got me. I laughed like crazy. I laughed because I was having so much fun. I sensed the poison inside of my stomach dissipating and felt free and refreshed. Mion, the police have suspected you for a long time now. Oishi-san's officers have had the house under observation so that they could break in at any time. Kei-chan was threatening me. He was telling me I couldn't run or resist, so I should just surrender and accept my fate. You aren't doing that intensely enough, Kei-chan. Shouldn't you grab my collar and knock me to the ground? Today is the day I'm prepared to die. After that, they went easy. Because they just wanted to know the reason why Mion committed such crimes. You're all being too lenient about this. I'm a demon. I'm a murderer. Are you saying that if you can understand the reasoning, murder is okay? A demon is a demon. A murderer is a murderer. Whether their motive is to have fun, to live, or to take revenge, that makes no difference. Why do you even want to know that? Why don't you just tackle me and take me to the police? Look, there. The demon is trying to deceive you. It's a pleasure to meet you both. I am the successor of the Sonozaki family, Mion. Welcome to the Sonozaki family's house today. I'd like to greet you on behalf of our leader, Oreo. You seem to want to ask various questions. I'd like to answer everything as clearly as possible. I then told them about the strange events that led to Onikafuchi village becoming a Namizawa, which Takano-san had told me about before. About half of it was the truth, but the other half was completely made up. I just made it sound like it was only natural that their best friend committed such a gruesome crime. Keiichi and Reina were both overwhelmed by the history of Onikafuchi village, which was swallowed by this gloomy fate. Oh well. I guess I made it sound interesting enough. I'm sure they enjoyed hearing me tell the story. But you know, I'm the one who committed the incidents that happened in the present time. What was the point in listening to those old folk tales? Are you thinking it will make your best friend's crime easier to swallow? You're just trying to satisfy yourselves. I'm a demon. I'm a murderer. I have sinned. These old folk tales have nothing to do with the crimes I've committed. The way those two listened to me so intensely almost made it fun. I told them that the people used to make canned human meat and conducted gruesome research during the war. Those were things Takano-san told me. Hey, you two. Haven't you realized yet? Haven't you realized that what I'm talking about has nothing to do with what we're dealing with right now? You both look so serious. You two are such fools. So that Hanamizawa village might once more be like Onikafuchi village, so that we may again be a sacred existence worthy of worship. That's the mission of those who inherit the demon of the Sonozaki main family. Those who inherit the demon? For generations, the Sonozaki family has had a custom of including the character for demon in the name of its successors. If you write out my name on your hand, it should appear plain as day. Keiichi tried to write Mion on his palm. Oh, she's right. The character for demon is in there. Not only in my name either. The demon is engraved on my body as well. I stood up and made to show my bare back. Of course, I don't actually have a tattoo there.
It's okay, Mi-chan. You don't need to show us, okay?
Wait.
She doesn't actually have the tattoo.
Because they swapped whenever Mion was going to get the tattoo.
So the tattoo was after the swap.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. I laughed a little. They must really believe that I'm their best friend, Mion. My goodness. The demon has won already. They were doing so well at the beginning, too. I eventually sat back down after I finished telling my made-up tearjerker stories. It's your loss if you all shed any tears now. I looked at Keiichi. He wasn't crying, but he was overcome by emotion. I looked at Reina. Surprisingly, she still maintained an aggressive look, showing me her will to fight.
But Rika-chan and Satoko-chan, you killed them, didn't you, Mi-chan?
You're good, Reina. You know, what I just told you isn't an excuse for murder. You usually act like such a goofball, but that's not how you really are. You sure are something. You're far sharper than Shion.
I'm not saying that it's okay if you killed other people. Regardless, Mi-chan, you killed Rika-chan and Satoko-chan.
I'm not trying to justify what I've done. I have a demon inside of me. The demon is in my name, in my body, and also in my soul. But the demon wasn't the one who killed them. I did. Sonozaki Mion did. Rika-chan and Satoko died because Mion wanted them dead. That will never change. You're right, Reina. Come on, Reina. Try to figure out who I really am. You still believe Shion, my victim, is the real culprit. Poor Shion. I'm making Reina believe that you're responsible. That was it for Reina, though. She couldn't figure out I was Mion.
Please, turn yourself in.
Reina spoke to Mion.
We'll go with you. We'll never leave a friend by yourself.
Crying children and Reina are the only things I can't beat. Too bad, Reina. I've won. I'm well aware of how serious my own crimes are. Even if they accept me turning myself in, I'll probably never be able to come back here. So I'd like you to hear one last selfish request.
What is it?
30 minutes is fine. Just let me have some time alone with Kei-chan. Eh? Keiichi looked startled to suddenly hear his name. You're so insensitive, Keiichi. That's what made my sister cry.
Keiichi-kun, is that okay with you? If you don't want to, then I won't make you.
She's right. It's okay if you don't want to. After all, I'm a demon. And Keiichi's a bona fide human who moved here from somewhere else. For us to be compatible, as long as Oyashiro-sama doesn't exist to mediate, it simply isn't possible. Keiichi hesitated a little. Come on, Kei-chan, condemn me! Condemn me and tell me you'd never go! Sure. It's fine. Thank you. Fool! Your soul is mine!
I'd like to thank you too, Keiichi-kun.
Reina stood up, as promised she'd made to leave. Ah, it's fine, Reina. You can wait right here. I just want to go around the garden with Kei-chan. If you're bored, you can go to my room. You can read any manga you like. Ah, and if there are any volumes you want, you might as well take them.
I don't want to. Mi-chan's books belong to Mi-chan. Reina couldn't bring them back home with her so freely.
You're such a good kid, only at a time like this. I took Reina's head and rubbed it like Satoshi-kun used to do to me. Okay, let's go, Kei-chan.
Whew.
The game was over. Too bad, Reina. At least this was more fun than if Kei-chan came alone. If he did, he could have asked me to run away with him after hearing my stories. Reina's eyes were like those of a judge. In those eyes, I sensed both affection and observance. I said 30 minutes, so she would probably only wait for 30 minutes. If I took even a second longer, she'd call Oishi. I'm a little disappointed. Reina still thinks I'm Mion. She didn't manage to see through me. I thought someone like her would see the demon in me. I guess I was wrong. Too bad. Keiichi followed me after putting his shoes on. Can I hold your arm? Such a humble request. I don't mind. I took Keiichi's arm. It was as warm as Satoshi-kun's. I felt a little bewildered. Do you get kind of nervous with your arm through mine? You're not thinking, for example, that I'd suddenly put you in a world-class joint lock or anything. You two say the same things. I don't think that. At all. He was remembering the time when I'd held his arm in town. I think Shion liked you, Kei-chan. I see. I told him how my sister felt. Shion was with Satoshi-kun for a long time, but what they had was friendship. They never had anything more than that. That was why she fell in love with Keiichi. If I were in her position, I would also have fallen in love with him. If Shion was able to fall in love with him, then I could fall in love with him too. Keiichi smiled gently. I almost saw Satoshi-kun in that smile. The Keiichi I knew was worthless and superficial. I never realized he could smile like Satoshi-kun. Mion and Shion, you got along well, didn't you? Well, I wonder. Kei-chan, do you think your right hand and left hand get along? Huh? My right hand and my left hand? I don't think you could describe them as getting along or not. That's how our relationship is. You can't measure it by how well we get along. We'd been together since we were born. We'd been living in this world as a pair. But I was Mion and she was Shion. Mion was treated specially and I insisted on being her. Of course, that was unpleasant for Shion. Deciding to be fair, we switched places all the time. We were probably different from other identical twins. We didn't only like the same things or do things the same way, we even managed to share our knowledge and experiences. When we talked about our experiences, we could share them. As Mion and Shion, we shared everything. That was why each of us was both Mion and Shion at the same time. No, maybe Shion was the only one who thought that way. I was a little different than that. I was simply letting Shion be Mion once in a while. I was Mion, the successor of the Sonozaki family. I was supposed to be treated specially. I always thought that was my privilege. Just like everyone tried to distinguish between Mion and Shion, I also tried to distinguish between us. For example, one of your hands is dominant, so there will always be a better hand. If you only had one oven mitt, you would put it on your dominant hand without thinking, right? I think maybe it was like that for us. That doesn't mean, though, that anyone would be okay with losing their left hand. It's that kind of unexplainable relationship. I think that maybe you lived too close together and just stopped being able to see it, but I think that means you got along really well. I'm an only child, so the day before the festival, I was really jealous of when you and Shion were messing around with each other. I think you're jealous of something that doesn't exist. Yes, we twins used to have a lot of fun trading places with each other. But now that we have such distinctly different personalities, our resemblance only gets in the way. As an older sister, I felt I was mean for thinking that way, so as punishment I became Shion. Who am I? I never had a solid identity in the first place. I was Mion. Then I was Shion. I should have just accepted that. But something has changed. I don't even know if I'm Mion or Shion anymore. Had I really been stupid enough to hope that Reina would figure that out for me? Shion is still alive. Really? Keiichi looked into my eyes. I nodded quietly. Yeah. I'd been thinking to give her the most horrible death of all, so I kept her locked up. I never did think of a good way to do it, though. This was a lie. I've already come up with ideas, and I've already begun to execute them. I dumped the hag into the well in front of Shion. I dumped Kimiyoshi and Rika in there. I even killed Satsuka, too. And right now I'm plotting to kill Keiichi, who Shion fell in love with. I am a demon. Any such gruesome act is simply pleasure to me. That's when I felt a warm hand rubbing my head. It wasn't Satoshi's hand, but Keiichi's. Keiichi and Satoshi are totally different. Why did Shion fall in love with him? His rough hand didn't make me happy. That he understood my feelings was just my imagination. I wasn't happy, and it didn't feel good. It didn't. Come with me. I want you to see all of my sins. Although, Kei-chan, it might be the worst thing you've ever seen. I'm going to commit my final crime. I'm going to let you see it. I'm going to let Shion see it. When I do, are you still going to think I'm your best friend? Poor Shion. Kei-chan is going to die thinking it's you killing him. If you want to turn back now, now's your chance. I don't know what impression you have of Mion Sonozaki, but it will surely change once you go inside. It'll never change. I'll say it as many times as I need to. Mion Sonozaki is the best friend I could ever have. You are such a fool. You don't sound cool at all. I don't understand human feelings because I'm now a demon, but I think I can understand why she loves you. I opened the iron door to the underground storehouse and beckoned Keiichi inside. Come on, Keiichi. This is obviously a trap, don't you see? This basement is transparently suspicious. Don't you think you should run to the police? But Keiichi was reckless. He swallowed, then stepped inside. You really are a fool. We went down the stairs to the basement, and I led him into the torture room. Everyone is shocked their first time visiting this room. I used to be that way. Of course, Keiichi looked surprised too, but he was trying not to show it. Obviously, he wanted to express his shock at seeing this horrifying room. But he also knew that if he voiced that shock, that he would be rejecting his best friend, who was trying to confess her sins to him. So he did everything he could to stifle his surprise. According to something a family head from a long time ago wrote, blood splatter has impact despite the fact that it doesn't tax the sacrifice. Watsunegashi was meant as a deterrent after all. My ancestors thought up all different kinds of showy torture. That's a space for the audience. Watsunegashi is a deterrent after all. It wouldn't make sense if there were no guests. Keiichi smiled quietly as he listened to me. No matter what cruelty came out of my mouth, he would embrace me. Was this really the superficial Keiichi Marubara I knew? Right here is where I killed everyone. There were no spectators to watch me, but I held a Watsunegashi of my own. Well, perhaps there was one spectator. Huh? A spectator? Me? I, the demon, was watching the entire time Mion held the ceremony. I started to laugh. How many hints do you need, Keiichi? When are you going to figure out that I'm not really your best friend? Come on, hurry up, you're running out of time. The game is almost over. This was a game. This was a game of murder. I had killed people, using my revenge for Satoshi-kun as an excuse. The demon was trying to capture Keiichi and kill him before Mion's eyes. But Keiichi had a chance. If he figured out that I wasn't his best friend, then he'd win. If not, he was out. When did I come up with that rule? I guess it was sometime today. Or did I come up with it just a minute ago? Since the two of them aren't too bright, I decided to be easy on them, I guess. You are Mion's best friends, right? Don't you believe in her? Have you already made Mion into a murderer within yourselves? Why don't you try to protect the Mion within you? Why don't you try to believe your friend can't be a murderer? If you could believe until the very end like Satoko did, you would have realized that I wasn't Mion, your best friend, but just someone who looks like her. But if you can't, if you still believe that I'm Mion, then you're just like me. I killed the Satoshi-kun within me so easily, and you will do the same. You don't deserve to live. Back there is the prison. Is Shion there? You're not gonna make it. Once we reach Shion's cell, your time is up. The demon will win. Shion? Is that Shion? Kei-chan? Is that you, Kei-chan? Keiichi ran to the cell. Are you alright, Shion? Are you hurt? No. No! Shion screamed. I was standing right behind Keiichi. It was time. My preparations to kill the boy she loved were complete. For her, this was going to be the worst possible torture. Calm down, Shion. Everything is over now. Everything. Keiichi tried to quell Shion's distress by talking to her in a calm voice. It was such a funny sight. Keiichi was the only one who had no idea what was going on. Shion, how have you been? No more, please! No more! I don't want to see anyone else die! If you hate me, then just kill me already. I'm the one you hate most, right? Kill me. Kill me right now! Sis! Calm down, Shion. It's all over now. It's gonna be alright. Just calm down. Relax. I won't kill you. No, I won't kill you just yet. It's game over. I gave you enough chances. You cornered me quite well once. But that was it. You couldn't figure out that I'm not your best friend, Mion. You couldn't believe that Mion isn't a murderer. Please, stop! Don't kill Kei-chan! Kei-chan has nothing to do with this, does he? If you're going to kill someone, then kill me right now. I don't want anyone else to die. If you want to die that badly, then after I've killed this man, I'll take my time making mincemeat out of you. In accordance with that ancient rites, I'll do it slowly, starting with your extremities. I'll shave you down and mince you to bits. I had that mincing machine set up specifically for you after all. Or would it be funnier if I were to mince up Kei-chan in front of you? Hey, quit it already! What do you have to gain by scaring her at this point? No! Kei-chan, run away!
Wait, which one was that? That was the Mion in the cell.
Yeah, that was true, Shia. Here you are, demon. Go ahead and take my soul. I'd been living my life to avenge Satoshi-kun. But that wasn't what he wanted for me. That was just for my own satisfaction. I couldn't even face Satoshi-kun. So I'll bring this to an end in the way I want. The world became a total mess. Satoshi-kun hates me and I hate myself too. I'm going to complete my revenge. I don't want anyone to sympathize with me. I won't pretend to be some tragic heroine either. I'm going to become a murderer that nobody could sympathize with. So please, grant a suitable final moment to me. A bluish-white flash filled the huge cave. Keiichi fell down like a doll. Shion reached out to him from the other side of the bars. She screamed at me not to kill Keiichi. Go ahead, cry and blame me. Don't even think of offering your forgiveness. I am the most rotten existence in this world. So please, grant me the worst possible ending. Shion begged me desperately to let Keiichi go. I simply abused her, slandered her, and disgraced her. The more Shion suffered, the deeper I'd fall into hell. It wasn't even enough. It wasn't even close to deep enough. It wasn't deep enough to compensate for my sins. I dragged Keiichi to the table that I tried to put Satoko on and restrained him there. Keiichi began to move sluggishly. The stun gun must not have worked too well on him. Can you hear it, Shion? I'm going to get started now. Savor Kei-chan's fresh screams to your heart's content. Give it a fucking rest. Keiichi squeezed out those words. He sounded good, like he was about to bite me. Awake at last, are we? I lied before, you know, about having wanted to give Shion the most miserable death of all, but locking her up because I hadn't thought of a good way yet. That was a lie. I smiled as I laid out the huge nails and hammers specially made for the nail table. I'll let her hear the screams of all those people that died because of her, and after they soaked into her very soul, then I'll kill her. I've got pretty good taste, huh? Who are you? Huh? I'm Mion. Mion Sonozaki. Have you lost your mind from fear? No, you're not. There's no way you could be Mion Sonozaki. I stopped moving. Kei-chan? Shit. I decided the naming game would be over once we reached Shion's cell. Therefore, even if he guessed this time, it would be too late. Oh well, sure. I'll listen to you. This is your last chance. I see. Then if I'm not Mion, who am I? Come on, Kei-chan. Guess who I am. Why don't you try and save Mion, the girl who fell in love with you? Demon. Huh? You're not Mion. Mion was just here. Give her back. Kei-chan, is your brain really doing okay? You're not going crazy with fear. Don't touch me. You damn demon. Give her back. Give Mion back. My best friend, give Mion back. I try to listen to him with a blank expression. I know it's nonsense to demand Mion's return when she's right in front of me. But... this person in front of me can't possibly be Mion. I can't accept that. That's great! So I'm not Mion or Shion. It doesn't even see me as my sister. No, wait, that's not it. Keiichi protected the Mion in his heart until the end. He didn't accept the fact that Mion was a murderer. And not just that, either. He protected Shion in his heart as well. He didn't conclude that if Mion wasn't a murderer, then it must have been Shion. To Keiichi, Shion was someone who always made fun of Mion. But that was it. It wasn't like they'd known each other for a long time. But Keiichi protected her. He protected Shion from being a murderer. That's why I'm a demon. And not Mion or Shion, huh? A demon, huh? A demon. That's stupid! But isn't that just right on the money? What? Kei-chan, are you trying to drown me in my own tears? However, Keiichi didn't back off. He kept screaming. He screamed loudly so that I could hear his voice even when I was stuck inside of a demon. You can do it, Mion! Don't lose to this piece of shit demon! You're strong! Show me how strong you are! Surely he isn't talking to me knowing that I'm the real Mion, right? He's just confusing us again. So there's no reason to let my heart be disturbed by Keiichi's screams towards Mion. Come on, Mion! Mion! Why did you lose to a demon like this? You're not that weak, are you? Don't give up. Fight! Fight! He's right. I didn't fight back. How did he know? How did he know I didn't fight back? I lost to the demon. After all, I'm weak. I'm not strong enough to defeat the demon. Even so, Keiichi continued to talk to Mion. His voice had become hoarse, and he began sobbing. He kept mumbling, Mion, Mion. Kei-chan, this may not be something pleasant to take to the grave with you, but you really seem to want to know, so I'll tell you just one thing.
There it is.
A long time ago, the demon came to live inside me. It was gnawing at my heart, trying to spur me to violence, but I suppressed it with my reason. The demon had become quiet, and I got to thinking that it had gone away somewhere. As it turned out, I was wrong. It hadn't left. It was just sleeping inside of me. That was the truth. When I learned about Satoshi-kun's disappearance, my weak soul couldn't take the sadness, and anger filled me to the brim. But the insanity had stopped there. Time had healed me and embraced me with memories of Satoshi-kun. The demon woke up again due to a certain small opportunity. What do you think that opportunity was? It was such a little thing. This might be strange for me, a demon, to say, but you're the reason that everything got so messed up. A tear rolled down my cheek. At the time, if you had given me that doll you got without hesitation, maybe everything wouldn't have gotten so twisted. You can't possibly understand. I wouldn't expect you to. But you see, all sorts of things started falling over like dominoes after that, and soon it was too much for me to control. It only makes sense that you wouldn't be aware of knocking over the first one, since it was so small, but you're the one who set them up. If Kei-chan hadn't done something so insensitive, Shion wouldn't have cried. Shion cried and talked to me about it. That had reminded me of Satoshi-kun. I became jealous of her for having someone she loved so close to her. It was a very small jealousy. But that little feeling woke up the demon who was sleeping deep inside of me. After that, I just let the demon take over. The demon ate up all of the sadness from my loss of Satoshi-kun, and filled my heart with the notion of revenge, even though I knew that wouldn't make Satoshi happy. Then the scary incidents that followed dragged me to hell, from whence there was no escape. That can't be, can it? It only makes sense that you wouldn't be aware of it. Even so, Kei-chan, you are without a doubt the cause. If you had nonchalantly given me the doll that day, then I don't think this would have happened. Was I simply transferring the blame to Keiichi? Such a tiny thing woke up the demon inside of me. The demon would have woke up eventually. I was at fault. I didn't fight back. I let the demon live in my soul, and I let the demon possess me. Ugh. Keiichi didn't hide his tears. They were pouring down his cheeks. Maybe he was crying in my place since I'd become a demon and couldn't cry of my own will. Can I start now then? This method of torture is very simple. I'll nail one of these into the first joint of your left pinky finger. Then, I'll nail each one in order until I get to your thumb. And then I'll go back to your pinky and nail one into the joint in the middle. So on and so on until I hammer 15 nails into your left hand. When that's over with, I'll do your right hand next. After that, if you're still conscious, I'll tell you. There are a lot of nerves bundled into your fingertips, so it hurts far more than you could imagine. Some people apparently pass out before you finish hammering 30 nails into their hands, so I put a nail to Keiichi's left pinky. Once I hit it with a huge hammer, it would start, and it would be over. I didn't hesitate at all when I was torturing the others, but somehow I do when it's you. If this will satisfy you, Demon Mion. If it will sate the demon, then do to me what you will. I didn't understand what he just said, so I tried to repeat his words in my own head. Are you serious? Compared to how much I hurt Mion, this is nothing, right? Do as much as you want. In exchange, promise me 2 things. After you're satisfied with causing me pain, forgive Shion. She's been punished enough to make up for her crime of sneaking into the storehouse, hasn't she? You, after all this, you still care about Shion more than yourself? I am Mion Sonozaki. So why are my eyes growing so damp when hearing Keiichi show concern for Shion? The other thing is that when you've had your fill, you disappear. Give that body back to Mion. That's all. You know, are you not even considering possibly begging for your life or anything? Can I ask you to promise 3 things instead of 2? The third is to leave me alive. You said 2 in the beginning, didn't you? So you can't have any more. That's a shame. Even in this situation, Keiichi and I joked around and laughed. Then I knew. I knew why Shion fell in love with him. He's different from Satoshi-kun, but he's a good guy. I probably won't keep these promises, understand? I'm a demon after all. I guess there's nothing I can do then. Keiichi smiled and then closed his eyes. Kei-chan, I'll agree to just the third thing, okay? Huh? Your first wish, to save Shion. That's not possible. The demon will kill her. It's already been decided, so I can't stop it. So please give up on that. I stroked Keiichi's chin. As for your second wish, to give this body back to Mion, that won't happen either. After today, Mion will never come back. From today on, even if my body remains, it will just be a shell. Because the demon has taken it over. That isn't true. Mion is Mion. Don't say such sad things like she won't ever come back. Can you hear it? That sound? I'd been hearing a noise. I knew what it had to be. Bang! Bang! A dull sound was repeating in regular rhythm. It was accompanied by a light tremor. People were trying to force open the iron door to the underground storehouse. You're late, so Reina probably called Uishi. That spaced-out girl being so quick-thinking was the one thing I didn't anticipate. I'll agree with you there. Really? I wonder how much Kei-chan really knows about Reina. Reina Ryugu. I won this time. Reina couldn't figure out who I was until the end. Or maybe she did. Reina didn't seem confused about whether I was Mion or Shion. Perhaps Reina could tell Mion and Shion apart through her sense of smell. She was good at that kind of thing. No way. I'm overestimating her. I brought out my stun gun so Keiichi could see the sparks. You've probably never seen one before, right? It's a real stun gun. It's illegally modified and its power has been increased quite a bit. Is that what you hit me with before? That's not a toy children should be playing with, you know? You're right. Bang! They must have broken the first door. The path was complicated, but there was no other door except for the one to this torture room. I won't kill you, but I will have you go to sleep for a bit, Kei-chan. Oishi will be here soon. This will only hurt a bit. Keiichi bit down and smiled bitterly. I paused, hesitating a little, Keiichi opened his eyes to see what was wrong. I'm sorry for disgracing Mion. I made a promise before coming in here. Whatever happens, the Mion inside my heart won't change. Look, forget about that. If you ever see me after today, don't come near me. By then, it will be the demon that inherited my corpse. Bzz. Keiichi fell unconscious. I locked the door to the torture room. I locked the door to the huge cave, too. That should give me some time. Shion, come on out. I opened the cell and told Shion to leave it. She was crying. You asked me to let Kei-chan go, so I did. He's out cold because of the stun gun. The police should be here soon, so they'll set him free. Thank you. Thank you. You still have something more to do. Shion has to escape from here. I took Shion to the cell with a hidden passage. Before that, I'll give Mion back to you. Huh? Take those clothes off. We're switching again. Here, the rubber band for your hair. Shion had no idea what was going on, but she changed her clothes as I ordered her to. I gave her the flashlight and she hung it around her neck. You go first. Find the hidden escape route at the bottom of the well. The light from the flashlight wasn't enough to entirely illuminate the way down. Nobody in their right mind would want to descend that well. But Shion obeyed and timidly climbed down the ladder. When she had passed entirely below the rim of the well, I brought out my stun gun and put it to Shion's head. Shion understood the meaning of that. Sis, I didn't kill Kei-chan, just as you wanted. You told me I could kill you instead, didn't you? I'm going to keep our promise. Shion's hands and feet were clinging to a very unstable ladder, so there was no way she could protect herself. She was in a critical situation. You, who looks like Mion, need to fall into the bottom of the well and die. I look like Shion. Kei-chan will testify that I'm the victim. I'll wait in the cell for the police to get here. I'm sure they'll eventually find out the truth from our fingerprints, but by the time they get that far, I'll be hiding somewhere else. Pretty good, huh? Are you killing me out of revenge for Satoshi? If you know that much, you should have been prepared. Go apologize to Satoshi-kun at the bottom of the well. Sis, Satoshi isn't at the bottom of the well. Huh? Didn't you say that bodies get dumped down here? All I said was that if he was killed at the Sonozaki house, this is where his body would be. What are you telling me now? Can't you be a little clearer? I also liked Satoshi. Yeah, I'm sure. I liked him, after all. I was very sad when Satoshi-kun disappeared. So I looked into things. And I interrogated Granny. I even thought about throttling her. Then she told me. She said she was only telling me as the successor, so I had to keep it a secret. What she said was something hard to believe. The hag said to Shion, the Sonozaki family had nothing to do with the disappearance of Satoshi-kun.
Oh no.
Shion couldn't understand, so she asked again. The Sonozaki family held a lot of influence in the underworld because of our dad's connections. In fact, they used such illegal measures during the dam conflict. Therefore, people just assumed the Sonozaki family had pulled the strings when the dam construction incident took place. Even the hag laughed meaningfully and said suspicious things, so everyone believed she was the mastermind. But it was all a performance. It was a hoax by the Sonozaki family head. It was just a bluff. The family took credit for the incidents to make it look like they were pulling the strings. With the influence they already had, this bluff was very believable. Therefore, people thought of the Sonozaki family as the one that had deep connections in the underworld, and that they were capable of producing any sort of conspiracy. People had believed that since the dam conflict. Oreo just smiled at things she had nothing to do with, as if she was pulling the strings. When the relatives saw that, they became fearful of Oreo's power. where the damn construction site manager was killed. Oreo smiled meaningfully. When the relatives saw that, they assumed Oreo was behind it. When the Hojo couple fell off the cliff. When the Furude couple died violently. When Satoshi-kun's aunt died and Satoshi-kun disappeared, the hag just smiled meaningfully. Everyone believed the Sonozaki family was behind all those incidents. That's a lie! Are you telling me the Sonozaki family had nothing to do with any of it? How can I believe that? I don't think Granny would lie. Especially about Satoshi-kun's disappearance, since she said she knew nothing about it. Because Granny approved of the relationship between Satoshi-kun and you, remember? You ripped out your nails so she would forgive everything. No, that's a lie! Don't try to fool me. Then who made Satoshi-kun disappear? Who? That, I don't know. But it wasn't the Sonozaki family. It wasn't Granny. You know the curse system, right? The hag didn't need to give the command for Satoshi-kun to be attacked. All she had to do was look concerned, and then someone else would take care of it. That was the system. Shion couldn't say anything in response. Even if the hag had forgiven her personally. As long as he was the object of the curse, the executioner would follow him forever. Granny told me that she had tried to find out who was actually behind this curse of Oyashiro-sama for a long time. But she couldn't. Everyone believed it was someone in the village, but she couldn't find out who it was. She couldn't find out? Then why did the curse take place every year? Isn't it weird? But there wasn't anyone. There really wasn't. I told you that Rika Furude tried to attack me earlier with the syringe, didn't you? How do you explain that? She wasn't just acting out of desperation like a cornered rat. She came over to my house and attacked me with a bottle of pepper spray and a syringe. I bet Tomitake-san was killed with that same stuff. That, I don't know. I can't believe Rika-chan would do something like that. I'm the one who saw how she died. I still can't believe it. What a completely abnormal way to go. I don't think Shion and the hag are lying. That would mean the hag wasn't in as much control as we thought she was, though. She didn't know anything about the scary drug, or if the Furude family was the one executing the curse. If the Sonozaki family had nothing to do with it, then who made the series of mysterious deaths possible? Was it just a coincidence that something happened 5 years ago in a row on the nights of Watsunagashi? That's impossible. A human must have made it happen. And it was all decided somewhere the Sonozaki family wasn't aware of. Kimiyoshi family didn't know anything. Kimiyoshi believed the Sonozaki family was behind it. Was it the Furude family? With Rika's behavior and the elderly people who believed in her so blindly, did some kind of power exist around the Furude family that created the curse? No way. The Furude couple themselves were victim of it. How could a little girl like Rika possess a power stronger than that of the Sonozaki family? No way, it's just impossible. In other words, I had killed the heads of all three of the families and was trying to bring an end to the whole thing, all as a result of misunderstanding about the dark secret of Namizawa. Then what about my revenge? Did I kill all the wrong people? People who had nothing to do with Satoshi-kun's disappearance at all? That's good, Shion. You're still trying to turn the tables on me, huh? Sis, please believe me. I'm not your enemy. I really am not. Please believe me, sis. Shion begged with tears in her eyes. That would have affected me if I was still Shion's sister. But I don't feel anything anymore, because I'm a demon. I'll be done once I kill Shion. I've already decided that. If I don't finish it up, what would my existence be for? What about the life I devoted to revenge for Satoshi-kun? How dare she tell me all this nonsense to confuse me at the very end? If what she said was the truth, then what I'd done wasn't revenge. It was just the curse of the 5th year. Shion, if you are truly innocent, you can go to heaven. Apologize to Satoshi-kun for me. A bluish-white spark lit up the darkness, and Shion disappeared into the well. Please, apologize to Satoshi-kun in heaven. I can't, since I won't be going there. Instead, I'm going deep into hell. Jumping into this well would be too simple an atonement for what I've done. Until I find a perfect way to end my life, I'm going to live as best as I can.
So it's not even the Sonozaki family. She just took
Oh my gosh!
this
The
fucking...
Sonozakis have nothing to do with the curse!
And they didn't even kidnap the grandchild.
Orio's like,
No.
sure, I did all that. Cool! Oh, they died? Nice!
Maybe...
Good job!
So would it have to be someone that's at the meetings that knows what Oreo wants?
I feel like it's down to two. Some sort of thing with the Furaday family and some sort of cult that deals with that, like the elderly, or a third party. An outside source.
Yeah. I think it's an outside source.
It is probably
'Cause
someone we've already met that is pulling the strings.
Rika knew that she was going to die on this day. So if she knew that she was going to die, would she be the leader of this cult?
It's really, really strange. It's very, very strange.
But she had the drug! That's the other thing.
Shion Sonozaki's last confession is dubious. Did the hag convince her that the Sonozaki family had nothing to do with it? Or is that the truth? In my own investigation so far, I've proven there are aspects of the curse which can't be explained by the Sonozaki family alone. So my notes were all bogus from the beginning. These 200 pages are full of bullshit. I thought of burning this notebook, but I won't do it. This notebook proves my guilt. I won't distort the facts. I won't burn it. After all, my life was only a notebook long. I wonder if anybody will read this. If somebody does, please let them learn something from my stupidity. The series of mysterious deaths in Inamizawa, dubbed Oishiro-sama's Curse. If you're reading this, please find the truth. That's my only wish. June 1983. Mion Sonozaki.
Holy shit.
So there's one more chapter in this one.
Okay, so I think in the next one, Shion gets close to the people who are actually doing it, and they throw her out of her own building.
You think we'll get a reveal?
I think we're gonna get a reveal in this next episode of who the perp is.
Because we know what's going to happen to her. Well, we do know that she's going to show up to Keiichi's house and stab him. Because, like, he sees I guess, would it be Shion? It would be Shion. He would see Shion outside, he'd come out to her, and she would stab him in the stomach. And she's like, I did it, I killed everyone. And then it was reported she fell out from her apartment.
What if she made a deal? Like, she has to go kill Kei-chan to save her own life. And they kill her in the end.
Or it's like, she thinks she killed him, and then she goes to her apartment and is like, oh, he's not dead. You fucked up. Now you gotta die.
Hi. Oh my god.
Well,
It's just ever since the White Night of the Watsunagashi in this chapter, it has been like, hey, there's a twist here, and then we're gonna twist back this way.
What a twist. So twisty.
Jeez.
Very twisty.
It's so ridiculous.
But, plenty of revelations.
Oh yeah, we're getting a bunch of fucking answers.
I guess there is a third aspect to it. A third possible culprit.
What?
It is a curse. It is Oishiro-sama doing it.
That's not, like, completely out of the question.
It's not out of the question. Especially since the prime suspect, hindsight, it should be obvious that the prime suspect is not the actual culprit. being the Sonozakis.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's a little too obvious.
Yeah.
That,
Way too convenient. We
And
should
that-
have saw that from the beginning.
yeah, thinking back, and it's like, yeah, it's just good storytelling to that.
And like
that subversion.
everything that Shion or the real Mion said to Keiichi, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm realizing like how she was trying to convince him
Yeah.
that they had swapped places, because we were confused about that.
She was giving him breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
She's giving him so many hints.
Even acting the same as Shion. Remember how he was like, wow, you two are almost exactly the same. Because it's the same person that he met at
Yeah.
with Shion.
It's just the same person. Alright, so we will see you all for the finale, most likely, of Meakashi.
This one's been a long...
This one's been a really good one. This might be my favorite chapter.
one of my favorites so far.
Yeah, Meakashi is a very standout.
2 good thumbs up.
Alright, so we'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.